What's up, people? One Nut Punch here. I picked up this game called Fabular, Once Upon a Spacetime, for under $15 on Steam. And I wanted to show it off because, one, it's very underrated. Two, it's early access. And three, there's probably going to be more stuff added to it, but right now there's only 3 ships you can use. The first ship you have is called the Paladin, and then when you unlock the other ships later is the Manticore and the Salamander. They all have their different type of abilities and attacks, as well as their different weapons. But when you get into the actual main game, you'll have this royal kind of like courtroom, and there'll be different types of characters from a jester to your tutorial, which is a knight, then Lord Chamberlain that has the different energies for your ship, maybe even capacity or some type of energy gain. Really depends on what it is, and then of course your own father, which will go and get into the game itself. Once you talk to your father, he'll do some dialogue about what you should be doing for the kingdom. And technically speaking, this game is about you, a prince, that's trying to save their kingdom from falling to these people called the Void Lords, which are these, like, evil bandit slash pirate marauders trying to take everything from everyone in space. Then you have the upgrade mechanics from your ship to power, capacity, and speed. Speed of your own attacks, maybe even more movement speed. You could also have additional defense for your shield, more damage for your weapons, because we'll get into the combat later into the video. But with capacity, you can be able to increase cargo. You could do your, again, blades can have more damage. You could also pick up weapons such as dumbfire missiles or even a grappling hook, like I said before. Use it to latch onto ships, get closer, and then stab them. But essentially, you also do these types of choices, whether you want to go save somebody from brigands or, leave them to their fate. It doesn't really affect the main story as far as I'm concerned, but maybe it could later on since it is early access. Now, the combat is a whole different story. This kind of reminds me of like a top-down version of Outlaw Star in a way. Your ship, essentially, does a lot of sword combat. So you have your light attack, you have a heavy attack, then you have your spacebar, which is your shield. And if they hit you, then you'll have like a barrier. Once that goes, your shield will be destroyed, and you can't use that until it's repaired again. Then after that, you have your other abilities from whatever you had from the capacitor. So if you have additional buttons, like the E key, the Alt key, that would also be in the bottom. So I have a grappling hook, and then I have I guess like a launcher, and it fires 2 like bolts that disable their ships for a little bit. But essentially, you're getting into these sword battles with other pirates and their ships. So it's your ship against their ship. You're not some small knight. You're actually a person inside of a ship using arms that are attached to swords, and you just stab and kill the shit out of things. Now, I will say with mouse and keyboard, it's not too bad to go around the rocks. And if you do hit them hard enough from speed, you will do damage to your ship. So, for example, you're trying to thrust away from people trying to attack you, and you're going too fast, you will slam into the rock and take damage to your hull. So watch out when you're doing speedy attacks. The other thing is being aggressive to a lot of these units. For example, fighting Dax the Deserter. If you do go up and try to like spam him down with your attacks, whether it be light or heavy, they will he'll beat the shit out of you. Because he'll do this like weird constant attack to where he keeps slashing you, and then send units behind you to attack, do more damage, and kind of kill you that way. But after you beat them, they'll give you rewards, you'll go through this dialogue, and then you'll move on to the next map. It gets harder and harder the more you play. There are like, I think 5 different areas you have to go to. Whenever you get to the end to beat the boss, then they'll send you to the next area after that. In terms of what I think about this game in early access, and if I had much problems with it, not really. No real crashes, and I've not really had much of an issue controlling the game with mouse and keyboard. And for under $15, I've been liking it a lot. So I highly recommend people check this out. And again, I've been One Nut Punch, and this is another video. Thanks for watching as usual, and I'll see y'all later.